I am Dienekes of Sparta, remembered by some as the bravest of the 300 who stood at Thermopylae. My life was forged not in comfort, but in the relentless discipline of the agoge, where Spartan boys are shaped into warriors. Pain, hunger, endurance, these were the lessons carved into my bones, as natural to me as breathing. From the age of 7, I knew no home but the barracks. We were taught to endure pain without complaint, to steal without being caught, to survive on the barest sustenance. They beat us, starved us, tested us, but they also forged in us a brotherhood stronger than blood. I remember cold nights under a canopy of stars, whispering strategies and tales of heroes with the other boys. I remember the first time I held a shield, my arm trembling with effort, and the pride I felt when I could finally stand unbroken under its weight. Among us, King Leonidas was a figure of awe, not distant. No, he fought beside us, laughed with us, bled with us. I remember one evening, long before Thermopylae, when Leonidas sat with us around the fire. He spoke of duty, not as burden, but as sacred trust. A Spartan, he said, is not greater for his strength, but for the shield he bears to protect his brother. Those words became the law of my heart. When word came that King Xerxes of Persia was marching with a host so vast it blotted out the sun, there was no hesitation. We Spartans, led by Leonidas, would meet them at the narrow pass of Thermopylae. Our duty was simple: to stand, to hold, and to die if necessary. Many fear the numbers. When a Persian envoy mocked that their arrows would darken the sky, I laughed and replied, "Then we shall fight in the shade." For what was fear to men whose lives were already pledged to death? At Thermopylae, the earth shook under the march of Persian feet, but we held fast. Day after day, wave after wave, we cut them down. I remember the first assault. The immortals, the elite of Persia, came against us in glittering ranks. We locked shields, spears braced, and they broke upon us like waves against a cliff. Blood soaked the earth. We fought with measured discipline: thrust, shield, advance. When my spear snapped, I drew my ziphos, the short sword made for the crush of close combat. I felt enemies so close I could smell the fear on their breath. Night offered no respite. We mended our gear, bound our wounds, shared silent glances that said more than words. Leonidas moved among us, his presence a living flame. He shared water with the humblest soldier, tightened the bandages of the wounded, spoke words of courage to those who faltered. His leadership was not shouted, but lived. Betrayal came, as it often does. A Greek named Ephialtes showed the Persians a hidden path. Encircled, we Spartans knew our fate was sealed. Leonidas released the bulk of the army, but we remained. The 300, the Thespians, the loyal few. We fought not for victory, but for immortal glory. Wounded, exhausted, we fought to the last. I slew until my spear splintered, then my sword dulled, then with bare hands, if need be. I remember seeing Leonidas fall, not in fear, but like a lion surrounded by jackals, fighting even as he sank to one knee. We rallied around his body, refusing to let it be taken, forming a wall of shields and bodies against the tide. When I fell, it was not in despair, but in defiance. We had shown the world that free men, though few, could stand against the tyrant's endless horde. I, Dienekes, ask no mourning, only remembrance, that men may know what it is to live and die with honor, to fight not because we think we can survive, but because it is right. My body may have been left among the rocks of Thermopylae, but my spirit endures, carried on the breath of every free man who will not yield.